They had no roof, yet the sky remembered their names. On the morning Jerusalem learned that silence could shout, 3 women walked past the city gates carrying nothing but water skins and a promise their father had buried in their bones. They were daughters of the Rechabites, and they were about to be tested by a world that wanted them to forget who they were. The origin of the Rechabites. Long before kings built palaces of cedar and priests memorized rituals by rote, there lived a man named Jonadab, son of Rechab. He was not rich, he was not powerful, but he was painfully awake in a world drifting toward excess. Jonadab had watched vineyards turn men greedy. He had seen houses make families immobile. He had seen comfort dull obedience. So he chose another way. The Rechabites were born not from blood alone, but from conviction. They were a people of tents, wanderers by design, strangers by choice. They owned no land, planted no vines, and drank no wine. Not because wine was evil, but because dependence was dangerous. Their life was a protest against forgetting God, and among them were daughters, rarely mentioned, almost invisible to history, but no less bound to the covenant than the sons. The father's last fire. Jonadab gathered his children one night under a sky torn open with stars. The fire between them cracked and hissed, as if it too were listening. His daughters sat closest, not because they were weaker, but because he knew the world would press hardest against them. He spoke slowly, like a man carving words into stone. "You will live in tents," he said, "so you never confuse shelter with security. You will drink no wine, so joy never becomes your master. You will build no houses, so you remember you are always passing through." Then he looked at his daughters, eyes sharp, voices quiet, hearts already strong. "The world will offer you safety if you soften, status if you settle, applause if you compromise." He paused. "Do not trade endurance for ease. Do not trade obedience for acceptance. When you are pressured, remember this: faithfulness is louder than legacy." That night Jonadab died, but the fire did not. The daughters who remembered. Generations passed. Empires rose and collapsed like poorly pitched tents. The Rechabites endured, often mocked, sometimes admired, always misunderstood. And the daughters? They learned how to carry water without spilling conviction, how to sing without wine, how to raise children without walls. They were midwives of memory. When famine drove them into Jerusalem for safety, the city swallowed them whole. Stone streets, perfumed wine, laughter echoing from carved halls. A prophet summoned them. Cups were placed before them. Wine, aged, honored, expected. The room held its breath. The daughters did not look at the wine. They looked at each other. And then one spoke, not loudly, not angrily, but with the calm terror of obedience. "We will not drink. Our father commanded us. And though he is long dead, his words are still alive in us." The silence that followed shook heaven. Why their story endures. God spoke through the prophet that day, not to praise ritual, but faithfulness. He pointed to the Rechabites, especially their daughters, and said in essence, "Look, humans can honor the voice of a father for centuries, yet refuse the voice of their God." The daughters did not need altars. They were living ones. They had no inheritance of land, but they inherited integrity. The end that still speaks history does not record their names, but heaven remembers their obedience. They were women without vineyards who bore fruit, women without houses who sheltered truth, women without wine who intoxicated God with faithfulness. And if you listen closely, when the world urges you to settle, soften, and sip what dulls your calling, you may still hear their footsteps, walking, remembering, refusing to forget. Because some stories do not end, they endure. This is God's Life with Vibes. Subscribe to the Join This family. Thanks for watching.